Experience Karen Hunter in a completely different way. Karen Hunter is awesome. The podcast.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're going to love me. And Karen Hunter is awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of The Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed. Speaking of a non-grace, Eric Adams, the mayor of New York.
Oh my God!
This is just news. I'm just gonna give it to you. A Manhattan top federal prosecutor, Danielle Sassoon, and 5 high-ranking justices resigned Thursday. Actually, there was a 7th, which I'll talk about because I'm going to read the resignation letter. She refused an order to drop corruption charges against Eric Adams because there's enough information and evidence to prosecute him. But now we have a non-justice department because we have a felon as president who has appointed people who don't care about the law as head of the law. So here we are. So this judge who cares about the law was like, yeah, nah, I resign. I'm not going to participate in this circus, and I'm going to go out and tell y'all that this was quid pro quo. Adams had enough, there was enough evidence to convict him. And, that's it. The 7th, Hagen Scotton. I'm going to read Hagen Scotton's letter. He said, I've received correspondence indicating that I refuse your order to move to dismiss the indictment against Eric Adams without prejudice, subject to certain conditions, including the express possibility of reinstatement of the indictment. That is not exactly correct. The U.S. Attorney Danielle Sassoon, who I just talked about, never asked me to file such a motion, and I therefore never had an opportunity to refuse. But I am entirely in agreement with her decision not to do so for the reasons stated in her letter to Attorney General. In short, the first justification for the motion, that Damian Williams's role in the case somehow tainted a valid indictment supported by ample evidence and pursued under 4 different U.S. attorneys, is so weak as to be transparently pretextual. The second justification is worse. No system of ordered liberty can allow the government, capital G, to use the carrot of dismissing charges or the stick of threatening to bring them again to induce an elected official to support its policy objectives. So they're saying that the administration, Trump, is forcing Eric Adams, because New York is a sanctuary city, meaning you can't just come in willy-nilly with your military and snatch people's bodies. You can't do it. But it seems like this mayor made a deal. My freedom for your ability to come and terrorize my city, which is one of the biggest sanctuary cities that we have in this country. He said, I can even understand how a chief executive whose background is in business and politics might see the contemplated dismissal with leverage as a good, if distasteful, deal. But any assistant U.S. attorney would know that our laws and traditions do not allow using the prosecutorial power to influence other citizens, much less elected officials, in this way. If no lawyer within earshot of the president is willing to give him that advice, then I expect you will eventually find someone who is enough of a fool or enough of a coward so to file your motion. But it was never going to be me. Please consider this my resignation. It has been an honor to serve as a prosecutor in the Southern District of New York. Yours truly, Hagen Scott, an Assistant United States Attorney, Southern District of New York. That's how it's done. That's how it's done when you're not compromised, when you have integrity, when you have a soul, when you know right from wrong, when you have good parenting, when you have a lot of things, balls and uteruses.
I always wonder, like, because I don't know enough about the process. But like, what's the difference between like resigning and being like, I'm out, or being like, I'm staying, but I ain't going to do what you do. You're going to have to fire me. Like, how does that, I wonder how that works. In the mechanisms of power.
One, you can get unemployment.
right.
So right off rip,
because I'm gonna be honest, I might make them fire me for the unemployment. I might be like, y'all gonna have to come get me.
But if you're standing on business, Rod, and this is really standing on business, you don't become a U.S. prosecutor, this level unless you care about the law. You care about justice. You care about making sure right and wrong is meted out in due process and all that. If you care about those things, making this kind of statement, I think, sets the table for what should come next.
I also wonder too if they know, like, well, even if you do what they say, you getting fired, or like either you do what they say, you get fired, or you don't do what they say and they still gonna fire you. And a lot of these people, if you start making these little deals with your morals and your principles, you still gonna end up getting the short end of the stick, because they gonna fire you because you're not their guy eventually anyway. That's what they did to a lot of the like those FBI people where there's like, listen, we just asking if you worked on the January 6th investigation. We're not saying we're gonna do nothing to you. We just want to know if maybe you did. Right, because you're creating a list where you're going to fire me anyway.
Well, I'm unsure, but I don't think that they have the authority to fire this level of... Yeah, I don't think they have the authority. So stepping down is even more, to me, like middle fingers, because you can't fire me. I can stay here and do whatever. But, it's an interesting thing.
Like I said, I don't know, because like, if I knew you couldn't fire me and I know I'm the one that's got to drop it, I ain't dropping shit, homeboy. Like, what y'all gonna do? Like, if you can't fire me?
Well,
like,
they're suing Letitia James. They're suing Kathy Hochul. So, nobody who wants to be entangled in that way and have to show up for court depositions.
I might respect what Letitia James doing more. Not that this isn't like something to respect, but like, maybe it's the fighter in me, but I kind of like it when like, well, then sue me then. Like, I ain't... I get it.
Have you ever been sued, Roderick?
Mm-mm.
Okay, you would have a different.
But Letitia James want that smoke though, and
she does.
You giving me more respect for Letitia James, telling me that she's willing to go through that.
She's an elected official. Her fight is for the people.
So right, okay.
So
this person not elected.
There's a different edict on her.
I don't know, man. I ain't first of all, I respect both, but I'm just wondering.
Okay.
I think what gums up their plans more? Does it gum up their plans more to be like, y'all gonna have to come fight me and get this job, or to just be like, I'm gonna leave, y'all get the person y'all want in that's gonna do everything y'all want to do anyway, and at least I got to say what I want on the way out.
I need to actually look up what I said because I want to make sure I'm accurate. But I like that seven people stepping down is saying that this. And then he called him a fool and a coward.
Yeah.
I
love like trash talking.
Yeah.
I just and for the record, I'm not. Like, once again, I'm asking these questions because I don't know the answers. This is not me judging these people.
No.
Yeah, because they obviously know more than me, so it makes me wonder, like, what was your mental? I hope somebody interview these people. I want to know, what was your mental thinking?
We should reach out to Hagen Scotton, but I also think you can be impeached by not doing what because there's a federal. So it's Trump's people telling the lower courts what to do. And if you say no, they can impeach you.
So they might have the numbers a different way. So then you resign, and then you get to say your piece on the way out, and at least you stood up. Okay. I mean, I respect it either way. It was just interesting to think about, you know?
This is some strange times. A lot of federal workers got their pink slips today as well. People that were on probation in their probationary period, which is really backwards. If you're trying to save money, the newest people are making the least amount of money. They don't have the pensions. They don't have all. You'd want to keep the people that have been there less than 2 years versus the people that have been there 20, 30 years, who you're going to have to, unless you plan on not paying them their pensions and the monies and the things that they have, because you're going to pilfer. This is about to be really interesting. And France had a moment like this. They did. And it didn't turn out well for France. So here we are.
Introducing a new podcast. Karen Hunter is awesome.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're going to love me. And Karen Hunter is awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of The Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is Awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. So check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed.
Karen Hunter is Awesome, a new podcast from Karen Hunter.